Hey guys, welcome back to RIPP Superchargers. Today we're doing some in-car action. So we're in a 2016 Dodge Charger with a V6. We recently had this one up on the dyno, doing some naturally aspirated testing with it. You guys saw it make about 260 horsepower. So we're pretty happy to have seen that horsepower because it gives us our median. You know, we like to test our vehicles before they're supercharged and then after they're supercharged so we can prove, our results and stuff. And this vehicle falls right in line. So the reason we're doing it in car is just to show you how smooth the 8 speeds are driving. The last time we did a driving video, we did it in a car, a 5-speed. So we were able to demonstrate how easy it is to get onto the highway, some of the speed, how fast you ramp up to some speed on the highway as well. No cold start issue, things of that nature. All the things that maybe some guys might be worried about if they're looking to do some forced induction in their vehicle. So I guess let's get right into it and start it right up. You guys can hear it and see for yourselves. There we go. We have no cold start issue. She goes right to idle. Some vehicle information here, right there. So you could see what it is that you're looking at in terms of speed. So essentially, just narrow it down to that. It's a warm day today, 39 degrees in New York. So off we go. Put it into gear. You could see that there's no drop in idle or wallowing or hunting, things of that nature. Those are all things that you're always worried about when you're buying forced induction systems or, naturally changing the tune in the vehicle. These things all impact your day-to-day driving and your day-to-day living with the vehicle. And one thing that we want to do and be is not have you deal with anything. That's a big deal for us. Okay, looks like we got out of here. A little bit of traffic. Off we go. There we go. So I'm going to narrate some of this stuff. I'm touching into the throttle, and the vehicle's not lunging. It's not doing anything out of the ordinary in the sense that you don't have to deal with any of these little tiny inputs. A lot of times when you modify a vehicle, you end up having to deal with stuff that isn't exactly on par with the OEM. We all want a more sensitive or a more aggressive throttle input, but we don't want the car to lunge. Things like that will end up having you plow your Jeep into the back of Ferraris at SEMA, and that's a bad thing. So that video is on YouTube. You should check that out. Okay, so now we're driving down the road, and you see that the vehicle is really just sitting down, at RPM, just simply going through the gears the way it should. So if you're driving this as a commuter, or you got to get to work, you got to get to school, you got to bring your mom in the car, whatever it is, it's nice and smooth. You're not having to deal with anything. There's no coughing, in the throttle. You don't see us moving around. You don't hear the engine doing anything silly. So again, we're slowing down. Vehicle downshifts as normal. The transmission's not doing anything silly, and off we go. You can give it a little bit more gas. You can see the vehicle just sort of just takes off. Doesn't really have any issues to deal with. Stop sign, no problem. So day-to-day stuff. The next thing we're going to do is we're getting onto the highway, providing we got a straight shot. I'll show you what a little bit of the thrust is like. No wonders there. There we go. Okay, so that's pretty much the illegal side of the of the speedometer.
Lost the GoPro.
Houston, we have a problem.
So, right. So as you can see, we got up to speed pretty quick. I'm pretty sure I saw some of that 90 mile an hour there. I think that's enough. So you're traveling at 70 and you want to show some of your friends what it's like. Hit the gas, boom, she wakes up. Non-issue there. She'll keep pulling all the way to wherever you want to stop pulling or wherever the road takes you, I guess, at that point. So it's a lot of fun. You can see there's really nothing you're dealing with there either. Just ramping on the gas and there you go. show you what it's like when you come out of the hole. Now this vehicle is not equipped with any of the sport features or any of those mods, so essentially there's nothing to press here. So the only thing that you're going to do is essentially just come to a stop sign, somebody calls you out, it's time for time for some action. And it's time for you to hit it. So essentially you come to a stop, you want to see what she's about, you just ramp the gas and off you go. Oh. So she comes out of the hole. Now this vehicle is equipped with 268 gearing, so it has the longer of the gearing. Naturally, this vehicle is set up for really good gas mileage, and you'll find that you'll get better gas mileage with this vehicle. With the Supercharger, a lot of guys have been testing this and proving our theory, so you don't have to trust us on this one. Essentially, it's something that just happens, and the reason that happens is because we got some pretty clean tuning in it. We clean up what's there from the factory, but the main component is the fact that you have the supercharger in front of the engine, and that's scooping up precious air and delivering it to the engine, where normally the engine would have to suck that down in the downstroke. This is actually just has it delivered to it. So even if you're just at part throttle, even if you're just tooting down the road, you still have more volume there from the compressor. Naturally, it's getting cooled off in terms of density by the intercooler. You got a better breathing air filter that we supply you here. So essentially, you just have more air going to the engine, which means you need less fuel, and that helps everybody, especially when you're just commuting with the vehicle. So those of you who may have picked up a V6 because of how enticing it is in terms of gas mileage in comparison specifically to a 5.7 or a 6.4 car, but then we're a little bit you were a little let down with the way the power oh dear the way the power came on, because it's a sort of a chunky car. These cars aren't slender by any means. We're giving you more power than any of the 5.7s could have gave you, even with a tune and headers and all that, and we're emulating power that you would be able to get, or at least the experience out of a 6.4. And I hate that a lot of the 6.4 guys and the 392 guys all take that to offense. It's really no big deal, right? You're just taking an engine, you're boosting it, and you're making the power of a V8. That's what every single guy in the aftermarket industry wants to do. They want to emulate power that you would get out of much larger engines, and we're doing that in one simple mod. So if these guys are invested into a 6-cylinder, whatever, Charger, Challenger, 300, Durango, these are cars that exist for a reason, and naturally the clients who purchased them for that reason, and now they're looking to enhance their experience with it. Adding the Supercharger just really brings that much more fun to the car. So that's our opinion on it, and I think our clients are speaking for themselves, especially a guy like D. Ford, who makes videos that shows that from installation to the very end has been a fairly easy process. Even when he purchased it in prototype form, he was able to basically just work straight through some of the pre-production stuff, which was easy, and work into a perfectly driven car, which then makes him invest more into his vehicle and have more fun with, which he's doing now. So that's fantastic. Another guy that we got to give a big shout out to is 86 Face. He's also making some great videos demonstrating what a V6 Charger can do. Challenger can do. He's got the component. It was also one of the first 10 or first 5 kits out ever made, if not the first one that left our building and was installed by him there in Texas. I think Bailey's did the work there. So those guys did a great job for us. Brian, yeah, TA, 1971 TA. That guy's breaking records. I think he has the fastest V6, right? Fastest V6 Challenger in the country. He's doing a 12.3 with his Challenger, which is, he didn't lighten it up. He didn't take any panels out of it. He didn't gut the thing. He just basically goes to the track, puts 93 octane fuel in it, and puts the hammer down, and that's what the quarter mile says. So you don't have to sit there and start taking your car apart like some of the other guys are doing with competitors' products. Just basically cutting metal out of the car and taking seats and trying to do anything they can to get the thing to go down the track. We want a car that drives. So we want a car that drives and goes fast. And that's what we got here. I still can't get away. I can't get over how much fun these cars are to drive. The V6 is really, I know we have a soft spot for them because we do the Wranglers, and naturally it's great for sales. And we do the V8 line as well. And I have an SRT Jeep. I love my SRT Jeep. It's awesome. Even as a naturally aspirated car, they're just awesome vehicles because of the sound and the noise and all that. But then you put a supercharger on it and they just fly. But whenever we do a V6 car, they're the best. They're the sickest little sleepers. I'm a big proponent of making it look like a V6. I don't want it to look like a V8. I'm not into the whole changing the nose and all that. I like the supporting mods, but I definitely want people to know that I have a V6. If we're going to be sleepers, and RIPP has been building sleepers its entire career. So we did this little video. It was intended to be short, just to show you what the 8-speed's about, because a lot of guys are asking how the vehicle looks, sounds, drives. There it is. No problems starting it, no problems driving it, no problems launching it, no problems, ramping up the speed with it, no problems around town. Pretty easy, better gas mileage, all that. So we don't have to worry about that either. We make these videos for you guys, and we appreciate the comments. So if you have any questions or any of that stuff, please just hit us up there, hit like, hit subscribe. That really helps. It shows that this stuff is worth it, and the effort we put in really matters. And again, shout out to the guys making those videos on their own. Thanks for shouting us out all the time. That's really important to us as well. So I guess I'll see you on the flip side.
Keep going. You didn't hit it over
No,
there.
it's got to be on the side. There it is. Ooh,
See it?
right there.
Oh,
Look at that.
stay right there.
Oh my God, no way.
Still good.
No way. I still think the seagull one is the best though. By far the best thing I've ever seen.